They will play host to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for the third time this season. Those two teams will tangle. And Terrell, as we get a look at how this one played out, boy, it was just a dominant production by this Saints defense, wasn't it? And you get a look here.
Yes, it was.
Last two home playoff games were lost by the Saints. And you see Drew Brees getting his top receiver, Michael Thomas, back after missing the last three with that ankle injury. Alvin Kamara missed last week on the COVID list, had 6 rush TDs on Christmas Day. So let's get right to it. Kamara rushing upfield for a 6-yard gain on first down. And 3 plays later, Brees, Michael Thomas for the touchdown. Saints go up 7-0. That was Thomas's, Terrell, first receiving touchdown in his last 385 days. You got to go back to Week 16 of 2019.
No, that's a long time for can't guard Mike. But you know what? He's missed a couple of weeks. He's back, scored a touchdown, gave his team up. Got his team up 7-0.
And a nice start for Mitch Trubisky. Nice connection to Javon Wims. Matt Nagy would challenge the ruling on the field that it wasn't a catch. And as you take another look, good challenge. Gets both feet in bounds, has possession. And how about this? Next play, they draw it up. Trickery, and it works to perfection. A wide open Wims in the end.
Oh, you know what it is? You make the most difficult catches, and then the most simple catch that you need to be making, it goes right through your hands. Come on, Bulldog. We got to do better than that.
Easy opportunity for points there. And now 3 plays later, Mitch rushing to his right, pushed out of bounds by Saints defenders short of the first down on a 4th and 4. They turn the ball over on downs. They failed to come away with any points. They could have tied that game up at 7 early on, and who knows what would have happened moving forward. Taysom Hill, by the way, now in at quarterback, looking to take that deep shot. Instead, hit on the play. John Jenkins recovers. They called it a fumble. Would have been an interception or a fumble regardless. Taysom Hill turns the ball over with Brees on the sideline. And we know that was a bit of an issue throughout the course of the season. All the fumbles from Taysom Hill. Brees asking publicly, what are we doing? So could the Bears capitalize? And the pass falls incomplete. Saints thought it was a catch, a fumble, and a return touchdown. Sean Payton would challenge that play. As you get another look, Montgomery did not have possession.
No, he just turned. He took 1-2 steps, and I think there has to be a third for him to complete the process. So that was a good call by the refs, bringing that.
So 7-3 lead at the half, and now we go back to Week 8. You see what happened there with Wims and C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Also had beef, did Anthony Miller, along with Wims, with Gardner-Johnson, and they were seen trash-talking between plays in Week 8. You see that there. And that would carry over to today as we fast forward to the present. Here we go. Little push there by Anthony Miller as they were trash talking. And Miller gets ejected from this game. There's his head coach, Matt Nagy, talking to him as he has to walk off the field. Clearly some bad blood between these teams. And on the very next Saints possession, 3rd and 4 from their own 21, Brees throws deep, finds, can't guard Mike again. 38 yards, having a big game was Michael Thomas in his return. And 8 plays later, the Saints would go for it on a 4th and 3. Taysom Hill in on QB, and just unacceptable. You see Chuck Pagano there. Eddie Jackson jumps off sides, gives the Saints a fresh set of downs. That is free yards, free plays, and that is an extra 4 points for the Saints on that 1st and goal. Latavius Murray running it in for the 6-yard touchdown as they would take a 14-3 lead. We fast forward to the 4th quarter. Saints up 14-3. Kamara right up the middle for the 3-yard touchdown. Put them up 21-3. How about that smile, by the way?
Right? The bling. That's a lot of money up there. That
might have been
right there, buddy.
Computer, and I believe that's why they made the 8K camera, just so we could get every one of those sparkling diamonds. Breeze kids,
look at you,
excited.
Doing the gritty.
What did Bruce Arians say to Chase Young? Be careful what you wish for. I don't know if he would say that to those kids as well. There you go. You see the numbers. Just a bit of a miserable outing for the Bears offense. And by the way, it is wildly skewed on that final possession in which they would score a touchdown as the clock hit zeros to make this 21-9. But prior to that, you're talking about 150 net yards of offense in this entire game, about 100 from Trubisky passing. And here is your divisional round now in the NFC after this game was completed, as the NFC wildcard round is done. The Rams will travel to Green Bay as they play the lowest seeded team remaining. Both wild cards get wins on the road. The Bucs knock off the Washington football team. It'll be round 3 between Brady and Breeze, 2 surefire first-ballot Hall of Famers. And you see the Saints already ready for this one as they swept the regular season series. One of those games, just an absolute miserable outing for Tom Brady, that 38-3 contest. So, I don't know where you want to start, TD. Let's look back before we look forward to that one and just all the things that seemed to go wrong for the Bears offense, or if that was more of a tip of the cap to the Saints defense and how they were able to bottle up Mitch Trubisky and company today.
Well, the Bears to me had to be perfect. They had to have the perfect game plan. And we saw when you talk about Javon Wims dropping that pass, the score was 7-0 at that point, and he made a spectacular catch right before that dialed up the perfect play, and then you drop it. And when I've been on the sideline in games like that, and when you don't make plays early in the game, when you're the underdog, it really deflates your squad because you don't have a lot of opportunities to make those type of plays. And that play was so big. And then as the game started to progress, the Bears were 0-4. I mean, at some point they were 0-9 on third down, so they weren't staying on the football field. Their defense was giving a great effort, but they became gassed after a while. And then the Saints started to take over, had long sustaining drives that ended in touchdowns. And once that starts to happen, it's tough for you to get back in there. But the Bears offense was not in sync. Anthony Miller got kicked out of the game. You're already down without Darnell Mooney. So you're already shorthanded at receiver, and now you're really shorthanded without your top 3 receivers. So, yeah, and the third down, they just were not connecting here. And look at that. You see all the miscommunication things right there. The drops, just not getting the ball past that marker. And that, again, it weighs heavily on the defense. At some point, the defense is like, man, you guys got to help us out. And they just weren't doing that.
Yeah, the 2 things to come out of all that great analysis there, TD. One, I want to go back to the play, the drop by Wims, because, in full disclosure, for people that don't know, I call Charger games, and I remember the Panthers game. They had that hook and ladder, and they dialed it up perfectly, and Keenan Allen and Austin Eckler just missed that connection, what would have been a win. And I remember Shane Steichen, the offensive coordinator, saying, man, we've been sitting on that one, and there it was, and we just couldn't get it to connect. When you sit on a play like that, the one to Wims, that ends up working and it doesn't get cashed in, is it magnified? Does it even hang more heavy on that sideline because you've been sitting on that thing for so many weeks and you finally dusted it off and it didn't happen?
There is no question in my mind that when you dialed up a play you've been sitting on and they ran it to perfection, every element of that play was beautiful. From the execution part was there. They just didn't complete the catch, and it wasn't even close. The ball went right through Javon Wims' hands, and that is a blow. That's a devastating blow for a team that's already shorthanded, a team that's already struggling to put points on the board, and you're going up against a high-powered offense. You need those opportunities. You can't let those slip by you, and they did. And I've been on sidelines when that play happens. You look around and you're like, uh-oh, here we go. And that was early in the game, and they never got their spark back. And but credit the Saints defense. I mean, Cam Jordan and company playing outstanding. There was just really not a lot of lanes for Mitchell to throw. Everything was contested, and they just constantly played real good football. No running game whatsoever for the Bears. It was a real good game plan by the Saints defense.
Yeah, you mentioned that, and coming into the season, it felt like most of the pundits, yourself included, I don't want to suggest that you said this, but it seemed like everybody felt like the Saints, top to bottom, were the best team in the NFL. Just defense.